Senator Heitkamp.
Mr. Chairman, welcome to that chair. We look forward to working with you. You have a brave new crowd, two little kids' chairs. I used to sit over in that one, so welcome to the new members.
I sat in that one over there.
It's the little kids' chairs, sorry. Dr. Carson, there's a lot of people who kind of scratched their head when you were nominated, thinking, what does he know about housing? And how is he going to manage this agency? And I've thought a lot about that, and you and I have had a great conversation, and thanks for coming. But we aren't in the housing business. We're really in the people business as we look at this agency. And I grew up completely different than you. I grew up in a town of 90 people. My dad basically was a seasonal construction worker, and my mom was a school cook. And like you, I was blessed with parents who really believed in me. Unfortunately, in America, there's so many children who don't have our blessing. And those children have suffered traumatic events in their life. It has limited their ability to grow emotionally. It's limited their resiliency. It's created problems for them that they carry with them the rest of their life. And I thought about you as a neurosurgeon. I thought of you as a man who understands brain function. I thought, you just might be the right guy if you focus on why people are in poverty, not judging people who are in poverty,
right,
but doing it in a way that we haven't thought about before, that we haven't even considered before. And so I would really challenge you to take your enthusiasm for change, which we all agree that we are an exceptional country that should provide opportunity, should provide that ability that you and I both have had
Yes.
to come out of poverty, but we absolutely need to understand why people are in poverty
Yes.
without judgment. And that's a critical piece for me. You and I have had a great chance to talk about
Yes.
Native American issues. We had a great chance to talk about rural housing shortage, both of which Senator Tester raised. I want to just hit two issues. One is transitional housing, and the other one is runaway and homeless youth. And they are on the other end of the spectrum of what
Right.
I'm talking about in terms of early intervention. But they are critical services for what we hope to do as a country when we look at judicial reform, when we look at the opportunity to change.
Yes.
Transitional housing is something that I believe is essential to reentry for so many of the people whose human capital we're wasting every day. And I want a commitment from you that you will make transitional housing, as we look at judicial reform, a major priority in terms of housing and in terms of helping in that cycle.
Well, I think it's very important. As you know, we have the HEARTH program, the homeless emergency.
But I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about long-term, transition, so that when people are taken out of situations, whether it is disability, whether it's a homeless vet, they're provided wraparound services in a location where they feel and are nurtured and have the ability to transition. And so we think, okay, you get 30 days and you're out. I mean, we have an opioid crisis in this country. We have a homeless crisis in this country. We have a trauma crisis in this country. It can't be dealt with without dealing with transitioning people out
Sure.
of those situations.
Well, you relayed a very poignant story during our conversation, which stuck with me, which I've used to others. It's obviously very important, and I very much look forward to working with you. It's an important
I
issue.
want to talk about another issue that we deal with a lot, and that's human trafficking, youth trafficking, the abuse of children. A lot of people think, I would like to say, it's like when talk about human trafficking or child sex trafficking, they sometimes kind of see this Laura Ingalls Wilder bounding through the prairie, and some dark cloud comes and swoops her up, and now she's in this horrible life. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I will tell you who these children are. These children have been thrown away, they have been given away, and they're abused every day. And if we don't get them off the street, if we don't do everything that we can to protect them at that point when they're leaving their family, they will be the most serious victims of crime in this country. And so we need to reauthorize the homeless and runaway youth program. We need to do everything that we can to provide that environment, that shelter environment that prevents these children from becoming victims of the most heinous and horrific crime that's committed in this country.
Senator, you don't have to convince me
Yeah.
about.
You know, you got to get it in, though. Lay down the marker. And so I look forward to working with you, and I really look forward to you examining the work that we've been doing on trauma and really seeing that as an entry-level opportunity for change in the early stages, especially in the programs that you run, because housing is foundational. It's foundational to family growth. It's foundational to raising healthy Americans. So,
Thank you. This is going to be a great committee to work with.
yeah.